The plot begins in San Francisco, when FBI agents John Crawford and Tom Lone get caught up in a gunfight between the Chinese triads and unknown foes. Crawford and Lone take action during the gunshots, recognizing that years of investigative work is at jeopardy. As they make their way through the chaos, they come across lifeless victims and engage in a furious gunfight. Crawford is startled by a gunshot shell and joins Tom in the fierce combat, both agents determined to capture the elusive assassin on the loose. He takes a bullet in the shoulder while strolling along the dock. A stroke of luck occurs when the triggerman is shot in the face and falls into the water. Crawford quickly briefs Tom about the Yakuza, employing a CIA-enlisted renegade assassin dubbed Rogue. Rogue turned against them and murdered 5 agents. The agents revealed their FBI badges as the cops arrive. Days later, Tom's wife brings him the phone and Crawford apologizes for being late for the game. Later, a man with a pistol appears outside Tom's house, quickly entering to attack Tom's wife. The assassin shoots Tom in the face mercilessly before dumping him into a room with his wife and daughter. Tom's loved ones are killed by 2 bullets while their home burns down. Crawford, roused by his wife, Jenny, hurries to Tom's residence, displaying his FBI badge in the face of a heavy police presence. He examines a corpse and fights nausea after learning about the fatalities. Crawford searches for clues inside, discovering the dock's familiar shell casing. 3 years later, a Spiker C8 arrives. Rogue secures VIP access and quickly dispatches security. When he shows up, the Yakuza begin shooting at him till there is a brief pause. A man approaches with caution, looking for signs of life. He, however, goes silent and they send the dogs to check out. One dog returns carrying explosives and detonates, killing another members. Rogue finally appears and faces the survivor whose fate get determined by his shot later. Crawford, supported by Agent Wick, arrives and takes command of the situation. Crawford, with his improvised surgical talents, tends to one of the survivors of the blast. After enduring Crawford's tortures, the survivor identifies Rogue as the perpetrator. Sniper joins the team at the FBI headquarters, including Maria, to investigate the case. They believe Rogue betrayed the Yakuza and its leader Shiro. Rogue, armed, travels to Chang's California estate. Chang praises Rogue's Yakuza assassinations but questions his devotion. Rogue leaves, asserting his independence, forcing Chang to send 2 men after him. Shiro fights a duel at his house in Japan, laying the stage for a difficult encounter. During the constant confrontations with katana-wielding opponents, the little boy fires a shot at Shiro but begs pardon. Shiro reassures him before striking him and leaving with his daughter Kira. Shiro assigns her the responsibility of protecting the horses after mentioning horse shipments to San Francisco, something Rogue is also familiar with. Crawford simultaneously infiltrates an underground boxing club, where he meets Benny. Benny, a proficient bullet manufacturer, divulges information to Rogue in a secret room. 2 facial reconstruction specialists died under unexplained circumstances, while a 3rd surgeon is still missing. The focus moves to the triads, who are involved in shady dealings, adding to the story's intricacy. Hidden depths are exposed as the triads load the alleged horses into trucks, signaling the expected time. Within seconds, police surround the convoy and order the Yakuza to stop. Officers emerge, herding the Yakuza in preparation for a search. The corrupt, bribed police captain demands his part, assuring that everything is in order. Suddenly the triads are ambushed, and killed after Rogue's command. Later, it is revealed that Chang's men under Rogue stole gold that Shiro was expecting. Later, legitimate police officers, including Crawford, arrive at the pier, confronted with the aftermath of a deadly confrontation with the Yakuza. Crawford notifies his colleagues that this is a significant development. The secret to disarming the Yakuza after a huge heist is to impersonate the police. The next day, the FBI team meets the corrupt captain in a restaurant. Crawford confronts him, fueled by wrath, and discovers that the captain's family has been threatened, compelling acquiescence. As they accompany him outside, a gunshot pierces the air and hits the captain. Crawford pursues Rogue relentlessly when he abandons the weapon, driven by vengeance. Parkour ensues, culminating in a confrontation in which Crawford forces Rogue through a window, only to disappear. Crawford receives an odd call from Rogue the next day, disguised as their voice. Rogue reveals the location of the stolen shipment to Chang's warehouse for unclear motives. The FBI and cops swarm the area, presenting a search warrant. Inside, Chang yields, showing a lone surrendering man, Rogue, now going by the pseudonym Victor Shaw. Crawford encounters Rogue, who keeps silent throughout interrogation despite Crawford mentioning the murder of his friend's family. Wick reports that the warehouse is clean, thus they have no reason to arrest Rogue and must leave empty-handed after capturing their arrival. Chang is completely unaware that he is the informant. Days later, as Rogue plays with his gun, Chang's daughter approaches him. Her mother warns Rogue not to mix career and family. That night, one Yakuza biker causes havoc in the Triad district, bringing the Triads into Yakuza territory. In a deadly encounter, the two syndicates collide. Rogue displays his face from a distance, relishing the Triad's dismay. He joins the fight, cornering the final Triad. The FBI predicts an impending war against the backdrop of a street massacre. Chang warns against retribution, underlining the dangers. He assigns Rogue the responsibility of protecting his family during the impending fight. Rogue approaches the second in command, the brother of whom he assassinated, and hands him a matchbox containing the location of a Yakuza safe house. Surveillance by the FBI at the safe home reveals a Yakuza gathering. During the hilarity, the Triads defy Chang's orders and attack the Yakuza. The tea house becomes a battleground. They annihilate the Yakuza by shooting through paper walls. As more people enter the fray, the conflict becomes more heated. The Triads enter the crossfire in a ferocious shootout between the Yakuza and the FBI, increasing the chaos. There is non-stop gunfire until the Yakuza inside are eliminated. Crawford and Wick arrive on the scene and quickly grab the Triads, only for Rogue to interrupt the arrest and eliminate the Triads one by one. This diversion gives the Triads a chance to depart. Maria attempts a frantic escape, Wick is injured, and Crawford, the lone FBI agent, is trapped inside with the mob. His remarkable agility and talents allow him to repel attackers until he corners and eliminates the final Yakuza member. Crawford gives chase after spotting Rogue outdoors, hurtling through the streets in a high-stakes chase. Despite his desire for a little fun, Crawford is tenacious in his pursuit of his friend's murderer. However, a catastrophic accident totals his car, allowing Rogue to flee. The following day, Rogue contacts Chang and informs him of the treachery and the consequent casualties. Rogue returns to the Yakuza and is unwillingly instructed to assassinate Chang, his wife, and their child. Meanwhile, Benny notifies Crawford about the discovery of the third plastic surgeon in Mexico. They follow him down and hold him at gunpoint in order to collect information. The surgeon describes the thorough facial repair, including muscle and nerve tissue rebuilding. The plastic surgeon demonstrates Rogue's present appearance, confirming his rebuilt facial bones. Chang, unaware, prepares to leave with his family, but an unexpected ninja-like assassin infiltrates his mansion. Chang's right-hand guy accuses him of betraying him, resulting in a firefight. Rogue's intervention proves Chang's faithful buddy correct, with a bullet sealing Chang's destiny. Concurrently, Yakuza outside eliminate the guards, according to an FBI member who told Crawford. Rogue confronts Chang's wife and daughter inside, and when the Yakuza demands proof of death, Rogue protects the family, slaying the attackers with ease. Rogue clearly saves the woman and daughter, allowing them to drive away from the turmoil. Crawford discovers that Rogue incites strife between the Yakuza and the Triads. Shiro arrives in town, wanting his daughter back in Japan, heightening the tension. Crawford confronts him, displaying images of Rogue betraying the Yakuza. Shiro pretends to be unaware, and Crawford departs. Rogue meets Shiro the next day with suitcases carrying the golden horses. When Rogue shows cash and evidence of his betrayal, their first meeting takes an unexpected turn. Shiro orders his men to question Rogue in order to identify the wife and child, revealing the actual nature of the treasured horses. Rogue exposes the forgeries by eliminating one escort and engages in a fierce combat with the other. Shiro is descending the stairs when he is knocked out by a bomb. Shiro, armed with a katana, faces Rogue, who has his pistol holstered. Rogue reveals the reason for the treason during their duel. 3 years ago, a precise hit was requested. Rogue has the upper hand, keeping Shiro at knife point and chastising him for involving the wife and daughter. Tom, thought to be dead, has gone feral, surgically altered to stalk and kill Shiro. Shiro confronts him and reveals that Tom should blame Crawford for giving him in because Crawford works for him. Tom remembers his late wife and daughter with fury in his eyes. Chang's wife receives a gift the next day, pushing her to start over, as well as the golden horse as a keepsake. When Kira opens her box, she discovers her father's head, which shocks her. Tom contacts Crawford and arranges for them to meet where their paths originally crossed. Crawford approaches the dock, alerting his sniper, setting the scenario for a tense confrontation. Crawford demands Rogue's reveal, but a quick disarmament sends them into a lightning-fast brawl. Crawford puts Tom in a chokehold, and he confesses his true identity. Crawford realizes the horrible reality as he looks into Tom's eyes. Crawford takes long to believe it's Tom, and Tom explains how he escaped. When the sniper takes aim, Crawford sacrifices himself to protect his old friend. Later, Rogue speeds away with his briefcase, bringing the movie to the end. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.